Ladies and gentlemen, I screwed up. A little. Not much, but still a little. Hello everybody, this is Hypercool64, and welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario Galaxy. In the last episode, ladies and gentlemen, we covered a few more things in the Dreadnought Galaxy, and then we went over and completed a secret galaxy. And in this episode, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get the Prankster Comet for Dreadnought out of the way. And I'm just speeding it up here because you guys have seen this mission before. It's just a repeat of another mission, so, you know, there's only really like a couple changes that really aren't worth noting. So, yeah, that's why I'm speeding it up. Now, the reason why I said at the beginning that I kind of screwed up was because, apparently, I never recorded this mission. I looked back through all of my files to see where this mission was or where I recorded it. I never recorded this mission. And I have no idea why. Or maybe I did, and the recording got lost. I have no freaking clue. But I literally had to pull out my Wii and my old Dazzle and actually record this again, just to make sure I got this mission into the actual Let's Play. Keep track of your recordings, folks. It helps out a lot. Trust me. And I'm probably going to keep better track of all my recordings once I start my new Let's Plays, which hopefully I'll be doing soon, after I finish this project and Smash Brothers. Speaking of which, just a quick update on both of those Let's Plays. This video, the next video, and the last video for Super Smash Bros., which will be coming up soon, are going to be the last videos where I'm going to be using Dazzle recorded footage. After I'm done with those two Let's Plays, I'm going strictly to my Elgato, because I don't know if I haven't said this already, I do have an Elgato HD60, and I kind of want to freaking use it. So, after this Let's Play and Smash Bros. Is done, I'm going straight into using my Dazzle from now on, so I can actually get proper HD footage at 60 frames per second, because, honestly, that's been a long time coming for me. So, just want to let you guys know. But now that mission is done, it is time to head off to one of my personal favorite galaxies in the entire game, the Molten Galaxy. I freaking love this level, and honestly, out of all the levels in this game, I have to repeat myself for some reason, this one I think is the perfect final level. Like, bar none, the perfect final level before the final boss, honestly, because I love how it looks, I love its music, I love its set pieces. Especially in this mission. This is probably my favorite mission in the entire freaking game. I love it. I love its premise. I love its music. I love its set pieces. It's a freaking amazing level. It's very well designed. It's just an epic level to go into. And fun fact, actually, and I actually looked this up yesterday. You want to know what the name of this song is for Molten Galaxy? On the Japanese soundtrack, the name of this song is Hell's Prominence. That is one of the most badass names I've ever heard in a freaking Mario game, like, ever. Like, seriously, good lord. I freaking love this level. It is so good, especially this mission right here. And, you know, it's just a simple, like, get to the star, and, you know, that's been, like, every mission in the entire game, but just, the look at this level, the backgrounds, there's one set piece coming up that just, it's my favorite set piece in the entire game. It's coming up. Actually, it's coming up right here. You ready? Yes! Oh my goodness, just the eruption in the background, the eruption that is still going on. The amount of scale that's in this freaking level is phenomenal. I freaking love this galaxy. So good. And the music. The music. I haven't gushed enough about this song yet, but this is probably my favorite song in the entire game. Honestly, it captures the level so freaking well. I mean, it's a lava-based level, and it just, I have nothing else to say other than this is my favorite level in the entire game. And that's it. I love this. I love it. And again, if you want the best level to play through before you head off in the final boss, I'd recommend this level because it's such a great... For me, it's a great level to save for last because, again, it's so epic in terms of its scale, in terms of its music, in terms of its set pieces, and in terms of its level design. It just feels like the perfect final level before the final boss to me. I don't know if that's the same with everybody else, but that's what it feels like to me. It's just getting you pumped. It's getting you ready for that final battle with Bowser. It's awe-inspiring. It's really phenomenal. Regardless, this level has a lot of lava. There's a lot of fire enemies too, and just like in previous... I don't know if we've seen those... We haven't seen those guys in previous levels, and I don't think I've actually talked about those guys that much, but they're similar to the iced enemies that were in one of the previous... from the Freeze Flame Galaxy, I mean. And basically, they work the same. You just spin while you're near them, and then you destroy them before they go back into the lava. And because if they go back to the lava, then they fully heal themselves. So just destroy them, just blow out their fire, and then kill them before they go back to the lava, and you're all good. And oh, this is such a good finale for this mission. So for this part, this is kind of like an auto-scrolling section, except not really. Actually, no, it's not auto-scrolling at all. There's lava that's rising, and you have to get away from it. Now, what I will say about the lava in this level is that, I will say that this part isn't really that hard, honestly. In fact, funnily enough, if you actually pay attention to the lava actually rubber bands depending on how far you are from it. So if you're really close to it, it will go really slow. But if you're really far from it, then, oh, it's going up pretty fast! Like, just like that. So again, this isn't a hard part of the level, but man, oh man, is it a great finale for this mission. I freaking love this set piece. I love the other set piece. I love the set pieces in this level. I freaking love this level. Again, this is the level that I say for last just because of how epic it is in terms of its scale and the music and the look of it and just everything around it. It's probably actually the most visually striking level throughout the entire game because of the lava, probably. Like, the lava looks really, really good in this game. Like, it just goes to show how much effort the development team really went into making this game look just absolutely phenomenal for the Wii, despite the fact that the system was weaker than the Xbox 360 or the PS3. I mean, Nintendo, say what you want about the specs of their console, they know how to make their games look good despite the specs. They know how to make their games look as perfect as they possibly could on the system and how to keep a consistent frame rate throughout. I mean, a lot of Nintendo games, I mean, not all of them, but a good amount of them run at 60 frames per second. And this game, of course, it's not representative of the footage here, obviously, because I've recorded this footage at 30 frames. But this entire game runs at 60 frames per second with no frame rate drops and no slowdown. Like, none. And to look this beautiful and run at a full 60 is just... It's something that needs to be commended for, honestly. And it's also... I also feel like it should be commended that Nintendo always does care, or always cares about making sure that their games run as smooth as possible. I mean, not every Nintendo game runs at 60 frames per second. I mean, I know Pikmin 3 only runs at 30, and Wind Waker only runs at 30, but when Nintendo really gets down to it, like with Mario Kart 8 and Super Mario 3D World and all those sort of games, they run at a full 60 frames per second, which... You know, I will say this right now, like 60, if you can make a game run at 60, the game just feels buttery smooth throughout. It's quite phenomenal. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, this mission is another ball rolling level, which I know everybody's not a fan of. You know, I don't mind the ball rolling levels personally. They're not the worst things in the world to me. They're not my favorite, but I don't think they're like the worst things in the world. I think they're pretty easy to maneuver overall. Although the one in this level is actually kind of tricky, because you're going to be jumping on different platforms, and you're going to be jumping on different platforms, and it's a little bit tricky to traverse. So, yeah, this is probably one of the harder ball levels in the game, other than in the Trial Galaxies. I mean, that's what they're called. The one in the Trial Galaxy is probably the hardest, as you probably saw in the previous episode. I failed on that quite a bit. This one's not as hard, but it's still a little bit tricky. But, of course, before we get to the ball whirling part, we have to deal with a few other things first, such as star piece collecting. Or not star pieces. Yeah, they're called star pieces. Get those star pieces, and then this part could be a little bit tricky. Basically, what you have to do here, and I actually sped it up a little bit because this part takes a while. Basically, you have to guide a bullet bill all the way to the end of this planet. And the problem is that there are these fire guys in the way, and it could definitely prolong the part quite a bit if you're not careful. And honestly, I don't know how to get past that part without actually hitting an enemy and having to restart it. So decided to speed up that part just to get things out of the way. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, here's the ball rolling part. Let us get this over with. Let's do it. Get that one up. And fail number 1. Yeah, I went for that one up quite a bit of times, and I wasn't exactly the most successful, to say the least. Although I got past it that time, so I guess that's good. I do like this version of the ball run song, though. It's kind of nice. And there we go. Good job, me. Fantastic. Rolling around, and... Ah! Yeah, the slopes are a little bit strange in this level for some reason. Like, I don't know. There's just something about them that just doesn't feel right. I guess that's the right term. It's not a bad level by any means, and honestly, I did this in just a few tries, so it's fine. But this was the platforming part I was talking about. You have to wait a little bit before these platforms appear, and then, or these platforms come around, because they're constantly rotating around the planet, I guess. But there we go. That was the last ball rolling level in the game. And I believe that was actually the last gimmick level in the entire game as well. So we're actually done with the gimmick levels. So that's pretty cool. So with us completing the very last ball-centric level in the game, we got a regular star. But folks, we are not done yet. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the return of Dino Piranha. But he's got a little bit of an upgrade on him. As you can see, it's Fiery Dino Piranha. Or do you pronounce that Fury or Fiery? I'm going to say Fiery, just because that's how I see it. A Fiery Dino Piranha. Yeah, an updated version of the very first boss in the game. Which is also why I recommend playing this level last. Because, again, it's that type of closure to me that just makes this level be... I don't know how to say it. It makes it a good penultimate level. That's what I mean. That's what I mean to say. But, it's just the fact that it's Dino Piranha from, like, the very first level of the game, like one of the very first galaxies in the game, that makes this final galaxy, or this galaxy, so fitting as the penultimate one, because, again, it kind of, I guess I almost want to say, it sort of tests you on every single skill you've learned so far throughout the entire game, or at least a bunch of the skills. The final galaxy in the game tends to do that more, but, you know, this level does a really good job of challenging you in terms of your platforming, making sure that you know what's going on. I mean, this game as a whole isn't really that hard. Galaxy 2, I will say, is a harder game. But this level does a great job of making it so you're still on your toes and making sure that your platforming skills are still in check. You know, that you're not just on autopilot the entire time. Which you shouldn't be, because this game is freaking amazing. Regardless, I think this part is really cool. I like this mission as well. I think it's really cool. We're going on this. I just want to say, I love the look of these planets right here. Just the glistening. It looks so good. I mean, keep in mind, this is a Wii game we're talking about. So the fact that it looks this good for a Wii game is, again, something that needs to be commended. But we have another star piece finding part. I believe they're called star pieces or star shards. I forgot. It's been a while since I've played this game entirely, so whatever. I'm going to say star pieces because I can. But anyway. So, in terms of other things, I've actually been talking about this game throughout the entire episode. Wow. That's actually a first. I haven't done that in a while, so I'm actually kind of happy right now. Regardless, in terms of other things that have been going on, anything that's going on in gaming, well, for one, Spark the Electric Jester. I've talked about that game a couple times on this channel. Recently got a new trailer. It was a development update for the game, and oh man, that game is looking so freaking good. And a new song was released, and it's the main theme for Spark. Also fantastic. It's composed by Falk, and it's fantastic. But the game just is looking so freaking good. It's looking like a very nice balance of speed and combat and platforming that just is going to make this into this beauty of a title. I'm so excited for it. And congrats to Like for Bird for getting this game rolling, getting the ball rolling, I mean. Yeah, I can't say things today. And for having a successful Kickstarter, which I personally backed. So, yeah, I'm so excited for that game. And we finally got a release date for Shovel Knight, for the Shovel Knight amiibo. Thank God. And unfortunately, for people in Europe, it's already out. But for America, it's not coming out until January 8th, which perplexed me a little bit the first time I saw that date. But after a while, or no, not after a while, like right when the news went out, Yacht Club on their website actually said that the reason why the Shovel Knight amiibo was not coming out immediately in America was because they wanted to make sure there was enough for everybody when the thing actually came out in America. And can I just say, props to Yacht Club for that business decision, because we all know that the biggest problem for amiibos has been the lack of them whenever they came out. So the fact that Yacht Club is going straight up and saying, look, we want to release it later because we want to make sure that there's enough even after pre-orders. I think that's absolutely commendable, and it shows how Yacht Club is kind of learning from Nintendo's mistake, and Nintendo is not learning from their mistakes. It's just kind of funny. But anyway, Dino Piranha, or Fury Dino Piranha, or Fiery Dino Piranha, that's how I say it. But this is an updated version of the first boss in the game. And basically, the changes that have been made is, 1, Dino Piranha can now shoot out fireballs, and 2, every once in a while his tail will go on fire, and you won't be able to hit it, because if you try to hit it, you'll end up taking damage. So you basically have to wait until his tail ends up not being on fire, and then you can actually hit it. And it's a little bit trickier than you think it is. Like, I had a little bit of trouble actually hitting his tail, because it kept just going back, because after a while, the tail constantly, like, at this point, the tail is constantly going from being on fire to being not on fire. Also, there was a little bit of cut there. So this part can be definitely a little bit tricky. Just make sure that you're paying attention to when... As you can see, I'm almost dead here. I'm actually having trouble on this boss battle. Again, it's another reason why I really like this level, because of the fact of it keeps your skills in check and makes sure that you have been playing autopilot throughout the entire game. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that was the final boss before the final boss of the game. The final boss before the final boss, if that makes sense. But, yeah, that's it. And, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this episode. If you enjoyed this video, please check out my other content. And until next time, guys, I'm Hypercool64. I thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next episode. We got a regular star.